Lifepak Nano, in addition to the fat-soluble things, does have some water-soluble things in it. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. The others are water-soluble, like vitamin C, and so they have to be taken twice a day. And
That's why they're taken twice.
That's why they're taken twice a day. It's because of their water solubility. And this just shows you an absorption example. Vitamin B6 is one of those that's water soluble, and this just shows the peak levels and why you do it twice a day. This is data on the first 18 million or so scans. I now tell people we must be at about 20 million. And it's interesting. The belt, this is a U.S. study, and the bell curve peaks at about 24 to 25,000. The average is a little bit higher than that because the slope on the end of the bell curve to the right goes out further. And although this is where we see everybody, this is where we want to be. And right now, only about 1% of us are up there. And I'll tell you something very particular about why that's important. But what is interesting here, and I'll show some studies in a minute, is that with the scanner, all of this was proven in both directions. So they took people who didn't smoke and did smoke and looked at their scan score, and the smokers have lower scores. They looked at obese people and skinny people and compared them, and it's exactly what you see here. Those who ate more fruits and vegetables, those who ate less. And I don't care when somebody tells me they eat 9 fruits or vegetables a day. I look them in the eye and say, you're the first person in the world that's ever done that. There's just, I can't.
If you do that, your stomach is huge.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just can't do it.
I can't do it.
And these are some of the things that I was talking about. This just was further validation of the scanner, not with the Lifepak, but just with fruits and vegetables consumption. And you can see how the score goes up when you eat more. This is a Lifepak thing that shows what the Lifepak does. And it's interesting, too, if you'll notice here, 27 to 32, that's really not much for the vegetables. 19 to 33, you know, that's like a 60 to 75% rise with Lifepak. This is another validation study, just a double-blind study showing the effect of placebo versus Lifepak on 1,750 people, I think it is.
And what study was this?
This is one actually done in Utah. These were employees and family members and people around. These are examples from my practice that just shows what can happen. The blue is before they started on the Lifepak, and the red is after 2 months.
Wow.
The notable one, SP, is a lady that walks almost every single day. She was assured that she had a wonderful diet. She was close to her ideal BMI, and she knew that she was going to scan really high, and when she scanned less than 45, she was a little bit disturbed. And 2 months later, she was up at 60, which is what you would expect. GH is a smoker. I'm sorry, JL is a smoker.
Which one is your nurse?
GH,
Owen? Which one is the nurse?
I didn't put
It's
them
not
up here.
ESP? Oh, okay.
No.
But I thought you.
That's
these
not,
are these are
these
practice
different
people. These
Yeah,
are not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell
These
you
are not
these people.
employees.
It's a HIPAA
No,
violation.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I just, I thought these are your employees.
You don't know them.
Okay.
There's no JO up there. GH is an interesting lady. I've known her for a long time. I love her. She's sweet. She had a terrible, terrible cancer 11 years ago, and she really was afraid that she was going to die because it was a really bad cancer, and she didn't. And she's read and tried to do everything that she can do to avoid recurrence. And she had read about antioxidants in breast cancer, and some of the data I'll show. I think it's because it was on Dr. Oz's show. You know, he had this too, and he was specifically looking at breast cancer recurrence. Well, she came in and she scanned at 11,000, and she sat in the chair, and she looked at me, and she said, "Am I going to die today?"
That's my exact question. What do you tell people that scan at 10,000 or not at all? What do you tell them?
I say, no, you're not. You're not going to die. We're going to help you out. You're going to do the Lifepak, and I explained it to them, and you're going to do the G3, and you're going to do the T-green, and you're going to come back, and your score is going to be up. She came back exactly 60 days later and scanned at 36.
Wow.
And she's still going, probably.
And she was gonna be, she wants to be a distributor, she just hasn't gotten there yet.
Awesome.
That's
I
great.
mean,
Story.
What a great
she does.
story.
Yeah, no, it really is. These are just other examples. JP is a good example of somebody who more than doubled in 2 months.
Mhm.
And DP is an interesting example because she was taking the little sachet pack, and this obviously was my fault, and she was taking the 5 pills out and taking them in the morning and taking the 2 pills out and taking them in
Oh.
the evening,
Uh-huh.
and she gained about 10 pounds, and so she came in and
gained
she went
10
down. So this is the learning lesson for me there. The only people, knock on wood, that I've seen have gone down have either done it wrong or had something else happen to them.
Mhm.
So I said, let's take 2 of these packs a day. Oh, you didn't tell me that. Yeah, okay, fine, I didn't. But let's do it this way now.
Whatever you
And so
say.
she came back in 1 month, and the white is her 1 month gain
Wow.
from doing that. Now, this is one of the things that's personal to me, and there are 2 papers I'm going to show you that have to do with breast cancer. This is published in 2012, Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and there is a group called the American Institute of Cancer Research and the World Cancer Research Fund, and they are about 100 different scientists that sit around and read papers. They found 24 publications that dealt with breast cancer risk and carotenoid levels. Now, in this particular paper, they separated out whether people said how much vegetable was in their diet and people who had the carotenoid level drawn in their blood. When people said how much they ate, they got no benefit. So obviously, like House says, turn that off for a second.